明日は戻らないこれはあなたに残した願い桜のように今はただ風に吹かれる土から誇りへ重ねた日々を心に置いて姿が変わってもどんなことでももう泣かないよまたいつかどこかで会えるからだから怖くないよこの涙を拭いて愛することは寂しくないよだからいつも
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What Do You Say Anime. My name is Peter. On today's episode, we will be reviewing the summer 2020 anime seasonal review list. Joining me today from Watch Club, we have Pat and Kat. Thank you both for joining me. On today's episode, we will be reviewing 7 shows along with a speed round of shows that maybe not a lot of people not a lot of people watched. So I'm just going to give like a quick review and then my personal scores on those. If you are looking for a specific show, timestamps will be listed below. Also listed below is our Discord and our Twitter information. If you'd like to stay up to date on the podcast, follow us on Twitter or join our Discord. It's really great and fun. Boys, I'm going to get you guys' first impressions on the summer 2020 season list. I know some of us watched some other shows that we are not reviewing today, but just want to give like your overall take and maybe something you're watching currently. So let's go with Pat first.
Okay. Yeah, hello. First off, hello, everybody. As always, I thought this summer was fantastic. Like, there's some shows carrying over from the spring. There are shows delayed from the spring that I had been looking forward to for a long time that we will not take too long to get to on the show, I don't think. I think overall it was really a great season. I guess right now I'm not really watching much. I'm watching that rock climbing girl show is so fun. I love
And
that
Golden
show.
Kamui, right?
And Golden Kamui too, yes. Golden Kamui is it was a great time. The freaking I don't know if anyone who knows this show knows what's great about it, but for those who haven't seen it, this episode's ended with 4 burly men fighting other 4 burly men in a wrestling bare naked and just punching each other, and it was the best. It was so great. Please watch this show. It is so good.
That sounds awesome.
There we go.
Kat, how about your first impressions from summer and maybe something you're currently watching? Maybe it's not even a season. What else are you watching right now?
So, currently I am, well, the thing is, this season, I thought it was going to be kind of middling. I thought 2020 seasons was going to get, like, really good in spring and then kind of go downhill. But so far, honestly, it's kind of kept some of the steam. I mean, it's kind of going downhill, but, you know, that's what happens with some of the shows that kind of shit. But,
yep, true.
But honestly, right now I'm also watching Golden Kamuy. I'm watching Sport Climbing Girls, and currently I am almost finished with fucking As Miss Beelzebub Likes It. I'm not gonna say I would recommend it, but it's something that you could turn on.
All right.
That it's something it's basically Yuru Camp, but fluffier.
Okay, cool.
Fair enough.
That's how I'll put it.
I will say too, I think that this season it's tough to live up to the anticipation of the next season with winter 2021 already like looming over our shoulders, and like, you know, it's so hard for this season to live up to those expectations that are coming next. So I think that's part of the reason why this one feels so underwhelming, even though in reality I'm probably watching like 6 or 7 shows right now. That's a good season.
And I'm watching 15, so
yeah, exactly.
Stay tuned for that one. That one might be a little longer review, but
yeah,
we're going to be reviewing last season, and we're going to start off with something that all 3 of us watched, and I think it's probably going to be one of the powerhouse shows of the year in general, and that's My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU Season 3. So after waiting 5 years, we finally get to the conclusion of Hachiman and Yui and Yukino as they solve their I don't know, that major cliffhanger from season 2. And
Yeah.
I think this is one of those, for me, this is one of those shows where I didn't think that we were ever going to get a season 3, so I got the ending spoiled for me. And I'm just really happy, even though I knew it happened, I was really happy with how the show like transitioned and what they did to adapt not only like the light novel adaptation from it, but also how they took it into anime form and really developed the already amazing relationships that they had between all 3 of them together. So I guess I want to get your first impressions. So we can start with Pat, your first impressions on Origairu season 3.
Yeah, so this is probably one of my favorite rom-coms, and it has been for a while. I was so looking forward to the season, or this final season. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get a finale season either, or a wrap up, and I was holding out hope though, so I never let it get spoiled for me. For some reason, I just had a feeling that we'd get it. So, although again, it's not really that big of a spoiler because it's kind of pretty obvious who's gonna win from episode 1, but still, it. I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad I let the ride come to me rather than spoiling myself. And first impressions, I don't know. The OP was great. I really enjoyed it. I think just the show was everything we could have wanted from it. Like I cannot speak highly enough about this season.
For sure. Kat, how about your first impressions of Origairu?
So my first impressions of Origairu season 3 were because I watched this show like probably maybe I think it was like 2018, 2019. So it was like 2 or 3 years after season 2 had aired. But but after I binged it, because I binged it twice in preparation for the season that was scheduled to come out, and then this season, and then I tried to watch it again this season. Internet issues.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was I was so excited. I was ready to watch this. I was ready to watch this show, and I was so excited. And I wanted to know because I'm a little bit oblivious when it comes to romantic comedies, unless it's like hitting me in the face. And then Pat decides to fucking post a meme in the Discord and fucking ruins the fucking.
You hate to see it. Use that spoilers tag, boys, if you're in Discord etiquette.
Yeah, I guess if you are on a mobile phone that doesn't allow you to, then I guess you still
Ya
deserve to.
hello, more like ya lost.
Yeah, again,
Yeah.
that's a huge spoiler that Yui loses in Origami
Yeah.
season 3. That is something that no one could have seen coming.
Let me ask you this question for you two. Did you want a season 3? Like, I know a lot of people were very happy with how season 2 ended. That open-ended ending where like we kind of knew what was like going to happen and how you can like I don't know. For me, I thought it was like season 2 was like a way to buy the light novel. So I really did not like how season 2 ended, even though I loved the show. So I guess I want to get your guys' impression on how season 2 ended and you wanting a 3rd season or not.
Well, I was pretty happy with the ending as well. Like it was so weird because I feel like I watched it and then people would always say like, "Oh man, that ending was so open-ended," or "That was such a cliffhanger." And like looking back, I didn't view it that way when I was watching it, like or when I watched it for the first time. And now that I go back and look at it, I can see like, oh yeah, it was kind of a cliffhanger. Because we didn't know for sure who was going to win. But to me, I was very satisfied with the ending. But that at the same time, I did want more. I did want a season 3. So, I guess that answers the question.
Sure. Kat, how about you?
So when season 2 first ended, because I was still trying to get into seasonals, actually the first this season is actually the first season where the current season is the first season where I'm actually watching seasonals as they're coming out.
Sure.
And last season I just binged it all at like before this review.
Yeah, the last few weeks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when I first watched Origairu, I was still like more conditioned over like the American way of like we need a full ending, and like if we don't end it or we don't do something with it, like we don't have a finalized story, then it's just a cop out. Like I was just kind of in that, so I was really yearning for an ending. And then when this season came out, I was really excited, even though even though I'd kind of made peace with it,
Sure.
but like I'm happy. I'm happy with the season.
Okay, right on. Well, I know that for me, I personally absolutely love this show, especially season 3. And I guess I want to talk about like our favorite moments from the show. Maybe you had like a favorite episode, but I had 2 that really stuck out for me. There's probably a good chance that this is going to overlap with everybody. The first one was the Hachiman rap scene. Was absolutely incredible. They brought back the what is he? Is he the student council president from the other
I think he's
school?
president from the other school, or
So-
the school representative.
So we got
like that.
we got the callback from season 2. Oh no, that's season 1. That's season 1. Is it?
No, it's
no,
season
season 2.
No,
That's
season 2.
That's when we meet
Iroha.
Iroha.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's involved. That's how
So
they introduced.
that was just an incredible scene. Just it shows just how much Hachiman has like grown as a character. He's come out of his shell, and I mean, obviously it was meant to be like a comedic relief, silly moment, but it was still super great to see like Hachiman be like, all right, I'm gonna flip this on you real quick. And then they had like this little low-key rap battle that was incredible. And then my second one is from episode 11, the confession scene. Maybe my favorite confession scene of all time, because how it played into their relationship and how they convey their emotions was just absolutely perfect. Where it's not like they didn't really like ask each other out. They just said like, I'm going to like annoy you for a while. Like, I'm going to be like this person that's going to be in your life, and you're going to accept it. And then she's just like, I'm also going to be that person for you. And then down the road in episode 12, she finally confesses and says, I love you to Hachiman. And then I was really hoping Hachiman would say it back, but he didn't. But it was so really cool to see another character development from Yukino, who's like this cold, I'll call her like a cold-hearted, I should say cold-hearted, that's mean. But she's very like interpersonal, where she has all of her emotions like in herself. And she does convey it more and more as she gets better relationships with people. But man, when she said I love you, that's just like, boom, let's go. I was so jacked. So Pat, I don't know if you had a favorite moment. I'm assuming it might be the same, but
It's mainly the same moments. Just a couple more that come to mind in that same the final episode when Iroha's like, "Hey, is it illegal to have a crush on a guy with a girlfriend or something?" Like, that was great, because not only is she trying to help Yui get over it, or just to say to Yui, "Hey, it's okay that you can still have feelings for this guy," but it's also her talking to herself. Iroha's still best girl in my eyes. That's my favorite character from that show. Oh, I don't know. It's tough.
No,
I know.
we'll talk.
We can talk about that later. But yeah. So I loved that scene. Every scene was so great. The teacher scene with them dancing together, and then just saying goodbye. The I love you or love thing with the piece of paper. That was so well done. Again, every character, it seemed like, had like a scene or a moment where they were where they got to star or to shine in their own way, which is great. What else? The blue-haired girl, I can't even remember her name, but the one of the first episodes,
Kawasaki, I think her name is. Or something?
Kawasaki, yes,
Kawasaki.
When he says like "Aishiteru Kawasaki," like while he's running away, and she just starts going, she's like freaking out. She's like, "Wait, what the?
Wait, what?
Like, what?" That was great.
So
and then
good.
the last one that I can think of was with Yui, when they all did Yahala, as someone who loves Yahala.
Yes, I can't believe I forgot that.
When they did it, and she's like, Stop it.
Yeah,
That was so good. Oh man, I can't. This show's I'm gushing. Obviously, I can't with this show.
All right, Kat, how about your best scenes, moments, episodes?
So I think Pat kind of covered like half of the fucking.
I did.
True,
yeah.
Did.
Sorry about that.
So like all of it, like no, I've shared the same sentiment. But like the episode where it's basically like Yui and Hachiman are kind of dating, like it kind of shows you how much like I loved it, because it kind of showed how much like they got along as friends, and like maybe something more.
Yeah, you
but
can
like
see that.
then it kind of showed the like difference in tempo between the two.
Yep.
And like how although they're really good friends, this might not work. And then how the difference between their relationship and Yukinan's and and Yukina and Hachiman's relationship, and that just kind of it kind of solidified it. And and as a person who thinks that in this show Yukina is best girl, because
That's fine.
That's
I
fair.
don't. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
think.
literally
Yeah.
no wrong answer. They are all best
Maybe the
girls.
blonde hair chick from the classroom. That's a wrong answer. But pretty much
Yeah.
everybody
Even
else.
she's redeemable. She's redeemable.
Yeah.
She gets much better as the show goes
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
But like it's just that was just such a good it was just such a good episode for me. Like Pete, I mean not Pete,
Pat.
Pat has covered. Sorry, I'm kind of getting lost in my thoughts. But yeah, this is just such a good show. If you haven't seen it, just go ahead and do yourself a favor and watch it.
Go watch
All right.
it. You need to watch
Before
it.
we get to our final ratings, though, I do want to do like a best girl thing because I changed my mind after season 3. So I want to see if it changed anybody else's mind. Because my best girl is Yui. I fell for her so hard this season. She was incredible. She stuck her nose out more than any other person. Like she did everything but confess, and I was a big fan of that. Also, honorable mention, Yui's mom. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
yes,
why?
Please.
I was gonna say, is that why you changed your mind?
Yo,
Because like I don't blame you if you did.
If I was Tyler and I had 37 waifus, she would be in those 37 waifus. I loved Yui's mom, but yeah, Yui is now my best girl, and I guess Pat, you do yours, Kat, and then we'll do our final ratings.
Yeah, it's still gonna be Iroha. I think she's one of my favorite characters. The way she has that like, oh, sorry, I'm not interested thing, like that goes from sorry, you're a creep to I'm not interested right now, come back later. Like, like that whole like thing that she does every time with whenever Hachiman, she pretends he's asking her out. That's so great, and also just her character in general. I think she's fucking hilarious. She's so great. I again though, there is literally no wrong answer for this show. Like
No.
they are all great. Even best boy, what's Hayasaka? No, Hayasaka's the girl.
Saika, the tennis dude.
Saika, thank you. The tennis guy.
You can put him as best girl if you want.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Hachiman would probably put him as best girl. So like,
I think Hachiman definitely would put him as best girl.
Yeah, that's such a great. Oh my god, I can't.
Kat, did your best girl change season over season?
Not a chance. But it was really, really close this season, though. Like it's still Yukina. It's been Yukina the whole show because she's kind of like a lot of my real life friends where they're just like not really interpersonal, but they've got really good comebacks.
Yep. And
it's just like it reminds me of real life and just having friends like that.
Sure.
And just has some of the best interactions with Hajiman, and I can't bring myself to put anybody above her. But I will say some honorable mentions are the teacher.
I was just saying teacher made a really big season.
She killed it.
Yeah,
she killed it.
And,
very close.
Like if I was one to have more than one waifu, and I will say along with Yui's mom, she's fucking 10 out of 10.
You're damn right.
Yui Gamama.
Yeah.
Yui
Gamama.
But honestly,
Thank you.
honestly, one of the honorable mentions that was much closer was Saki. She was fucking 10 out of 10 with the whole scene with Hachiman's sister and then Saki's younger brother. That kind of made me want to boost her up, but like she's still not above Yui and definitely not above Yuki. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get to our final ratings. I'll go first. I thought this was an amazing conclusion to an amazing series. Going into this series, I had like Hachiman as either my number 1 or number 2 best character in terms of like development. He is now solidified as number 1. I absolutely love Hachiman's character development throughout the entire season. I mean, there really wasn't a twist at the end because I knew who was going to win, but this is one of those like it's not the destination, it's the journey, and I thought they did an incredible job. especially, I don't know, I'm so glad that Field did it since they did season 2 and not season 1. So the animation stayed better, if not, I mean, it was better than season 2. It was great. I love the OP, as always. The OPs in the show are incredible. There's so many good things to say. If you're a fan of rom-coms, if you're a fan of stuff like this, you need to, and you haven't seen SNAFU for some reason, you need to watch it. So for me, this show, it's going to be a contender for Anime of the Year. It's going to be a contender for my top 10, like, all time. I love this entire series. I'm giving my teen romantic comedy SNAFU season 3 a 10 out of 10.
There you go. I don't even know where to start with this show. Again, it's what I you know, here's where I'll start. If you sit here and think Toradora is the best rom-com of all time, go watch Origairu and your mind will be changed. And if it isn't, then you're just, I don't know, you're wrong. But either way, moving on to the actual review. I again, like Pete said, fantastic OP. I from minute 1 of season 3 to the final minute, yeah, I was so attached and interested. It was so good. There weren't any bad episodes. There weren't any really bad moments or anything where I just wasn't interested. Uh, I every character got development and was great and was interesting in their own way, was unique. Gosh, what else? The finale, the final episode, the payoff was incredible. Again, even if you know what's going to happen, the final episode was incredible. It was like the perfect finale. I I don't do this often, especially considering I think I gave season 1 an 8 out of 10 and season 2 the same as
Yep.
well. But I'm because of how perfectly they wrapped up this series. I think this is one of my first 10 out of 10s in a long time.
Wow, let's
Yeah,
go.
it is, and I thought it was gonna die down. Like I gave it to it, and then I was like, oh, in a couple days I'll bring it down to a 9. But like there's really nothing for me to knock. Everything was great. There was no bad things that could like justify dropping it to a 9 for me. So
I
and
agree.
also, fuck it, I love this series. It's one of my favorites. So
All
yeah,
right, Kat,
that's-
wrap things up for us.
All right. So one of the ways that I rate shows, especially in general, is how angry am I when someone asks me on Discord, especially when I'm watching on my computer, my anime now. The thing is, like most shows, I can normally stop, look at the Discord, and like type back, and then go back to watching.
Sure.
Some shows, I'm like, can kind of shut up a little bit. This show, if I'm watching this show and you text me on Discord, I will cuss you out.
Yep.
So this show, of course, is a fucking 10 out of 10 for me.
Yes, sir.
Because this show just, it's fucking great. Like, there's no wasted effort. There's no wasted characters. Nobody is like a flat character in this show. Like, nobody's static, nobody's flat. Everybody has their own character development, no matter how small. Even the fucking nerd dude, he gets a little bit of character development. Like, I wasn't expecting that, even though he's a fucking trope. Like, he gets a little bit of character development and kind of detaches himself from the trope a little bit, and I love it. But yeah, this show's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so that's 3 10 out of 10. So you should all go watch Origairu,
Yeah,
aka My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU Season 3. Actually, watch Season 1 first if you haven't, and then continue
then watch
through.
season 2. Yeah,
I'm
then
really
watch
hoping we get an OVA.
Just watch
'cause
the whole series.
Each
Just watch the whole
season
series.
has gotten an OVA, so I'm really hoping we get an OVA afterwards. It would be really cool just to see, I don't know, a glimpse of like an after story. I doubt it, but like something fun.
It would be fun. Yeah, that's the first 10 out of 10 I've given since Violet Evergarden. That's a
Wow.
long time.
That's
That's a
pretty
long
good.
time.
All right, so
that
that was our nice 20-minute conversation on SNAFU. I don't think any other shows are going to be that long, but
Not nearly.
I mean,
No.
I figured that we were going to rate the show pretty high, so I wanted to put it first. The next show we had was ReZero Season 2, another show after a 5-year hiatus, roughly 5 years, I'll say. We get the sequel, the follow-up, after they defeat Subaru and the gang defeat the White Whale, and right away in Season 1, we get the conflict of, hey, now Rem is asleep, and we have to figure out how to save Rem.
Who?
Who?
Sorry,
Huh?
sorry, we had to get that joke in, right? We had to. It had to come
I
out. All right,
think-
we're done. I think it's over.
I
It's
think
over.
she
No
had
more.
a sister. So yeah, we get the continued death loop of Subaru trying to figure out this puzzle as Subaru, Ram, Amelia, Otto, and then I forgot the dragon, the little rider dragon chocobo thing that they have.
Pashka,
Yeah, that
Padrushka.
sounds right. Yeah, so
It's something like that.
they travel
Yeah.
into the sanctuary where they need to complete this trial to do some. To be honest, I was a little confused by the trial. I'm sure there's people out
It's three trials to break the barrier of the
three trials to break
sanctuary.
the barrier, and we get introduced to a lot of people's favorite best girl of the year. How do I pronounce her name?
Echidna,
Echidna. It's a
Echidna. Oh my
bug.
god! Thank God.
like the animal.
I don't know what
Yeah,
that
I was
is,
gonna say it's a bug, isn't it? Yeah.
I
bro.
didn't even watch
Bro,
ReZero.
I went to school for math. Like, let's be real. I can't speak English well. So yeah,
Fair.
we had a great follow up to an amazing season 1. I personally thought, and to me, I thought the biggest thing for season 2 was the development of Subaru going from a simp to honestly maybe one of the best boys of the year. I absolutely love Subaru this season. It was a huge change of pace. He didn't before. It was like he was dying kind of for like selfish reasons. This is he was dying constantly for not only just Rem, but for other people and for a bunch of different situations, learning the secret behind the sanctuary that they're locked in. So I guess Pat, you saw ReZero, so did you want to give like your thoughts on season 2?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I think the biggest thing for me was the pacing in this season was a lot better than the first, where the first season there would be like 3 episodes that would go by and it felt like nothing happened, and then suddenly all these things happened in one episode, and it was a great episode, but it felt like all of it, like it was just like, well, what was the point of the last 3 episodes? There was nothing happening. This season, or this first half, I guess, of the ReZero season was really really good about that. There wasn't a wasted episode, at least not that not one that comes to mind, at least. Uh, Another thing about this season, it kept me on my toes entirely, like with Roswell, with
Yes. That
everything. Roswell was awesome
that
this
was
season.
kind of.
I wanted more of him
Did you
last
think that
season.
was like a twist? Because I kind of was always had that feeling that he was kind of like playing both. I'll say both sides because I don't really know if he's like a villain. He's not really a
Yeah.
villain, but like
No.
he
Yeah. I don't,
definitely is. He's doing this for. I don't know if it's for
he had.
himself or the cause or for like the contract that he has. The same thing with Beatrice.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of like question marks. I feel like if I went back and rewatched it, I would get some more answers. But I know I'll say from my perspective, I'm really looking forward to the second core because
Me too.
there's a lot of things that I think that need to be answered and they purposely left away. And I think there's some stuff that I'm just forgetting off the top of my head because it's been, I don't know, 2 weeks since it ended.
Mhm. I agree. I think it's intentional. No character, because like you could even make the argument like Subaru's doing this for Amelia, right? And like who's to say Amelia's best fit to be the next, like, is it queen or princess, whatever, the
Yeah.
dragon king, whatever, something or other. Uh Either way, I think that's what's really fun about it. So like yeah, I think Roswell is really well developed this season, and he was one of the guys that I wanted to see more of in season 1 because he was talked up in season 1 and then didn't do anything. So I'm glad this season we get more of him. Uh I loved Echidna. I love
Echidna.
the witches. Echidna.
Yeah, I'm
Did you
sorry.
watch the entire season without knowing how you say her name?
No
I'm
comment.
shocked.
No
No,
comment.
fair enough. Fair enough. I guess so. Minerva, the Witch of Wrath, is fucking awesome too. I can't wait to get more of her. The seven. This show. I love when shows do religious things. Like, it's one of the things I talk about with Eva all the time, is that I
Yep.
love the religious references. I love the seven, and playing on this is the seven fatal flaws of man, right? The greed, sloth, envy, all these things. Uh, I am so excited to see what they do with this, because so far I am loving how they're doing greed. Like, um Echidna is so
So
interesting
good,
because
especially the
it's
last
so,
episode was
yeah,
incredible.
the entire thing has been incredible, and I love how they're showing the personalities of the witches. And again, none of them are inherently evil. They are they all have their flaws, which are obviously what they are, like whether that's greed, sloth, envy, etc. They But they are people, or well, they were people, I guess, before they became the witches. And that's what
Yep.
I cannot wait for more exploration of this, because that's such a cool thing to try to write a story around. So I'm very curious. There are a lot of questions that were left unanswered though, so I am always frustrated when that happens. But at the
Yeah.
same time, again, we're only halfway through the season, so we can't complain that much about it. My main complaint, I would say, if we want to move on to that with
Sure.
this show, was like I get it. Subaru is suffering all the time. I get it, and this is my complaint in season 1 too. I am so goddamn sick of hearing, his
The,
fucking scream, his blood curdling scream every fucking episode, or him going, "Oh, I'm in so much anguish and pain." Oh, like, dude, just
I know
shut
exactly what you mean because
up.
I think it happens.
Shut
I
up.
think it happens once or twice a season where he dies instantly instead of dying like, etc. Or sorry, the bunny episode where he dies very very slowly.
Yeah,
The episodes where he just dies like a snap, I'm like, I loved it. It's so good.
I loved it
He's
too.
just dead. He's just dead. It's over.
He's just dead. It
We move
moves on.
on. It was
Yeah.
so great.
But
I
even
completely agree.
even the scenes though where he's like people are saying like, oh, he has a mental breakdown or whatever. I I am just so goddamn. I don't know. Maybe the voice actor just does too good of a job, to me, or overacts it almost, in my opinion. But I just get so goddamn sick of it that I'm just like, all right, can we move on, please? Like,
Yeah.
can we get to see him actually learning from that suffering, or learning from what he learned in that past life, rather than, oh, hey guys, do you remember that he actually feels what the pain of death is
Yeah.
like? Hey,
Yeah, we
yeah,
get it. We get
we
it.
get it. We get it. We're not children. I guess it's a shonen, so maybe we.
I don't think it is considered a shonen.
It maybe. Oh, you're right. Maybe not actually. But either way, it's like
It is
please just
considered a
move.
sign.
So it is a seinen?
It's a sign-in,
Are you
really?
sure?
I
Because
guess
it's
Yeah.
like a light novel, so I wasn't sure if it was even classified as like any of those.
because of
Yeah,
all the blood,
it's-
I guess.
Okay, I mean
Yeah,
that makes sense. I
it's
would
a-
definitely lean in the seinen
Yeah.
category than the shonen
Oh, yeah.
category.
Yeah, but besides that, though, I again, I really did enjoy it. The parent episode was great.
Oh my god, episode 4! Holy
yeah,
shit!
that was awesome. Because
That
it's something that I think a lot of people can relate to, is not being able to talk to their parents about their problems, or like him being depressed and hiding in his room, and his parents just supporting him. Which of course that I loved too, because the Witch of Greed was there, and she didn't really outright say it, but it could be, is this what Subaru wants his parents to say to him, or is this what they would actually say to them, or
Yeah.
how they would actually treat him? That was a great little twist that kind of like throws that whole episode of like a feel good into a question of, man, is this just what Subaru thinks his parents would do, or when in reality they're pissed at him and are disappointed in him, and I really, that episode was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was the episode that got me to binge like another like 7 in a row, because I fell behind on this show.
Yeah,
So,
that was a 10 out of 10 episode.
it was
I think
it was great.
anybody like over maybe like 19 has felt that, like, are my parents like I mean, I have a great relationship, but like I know a lot of people can't talk to their parents like the same way that like they happened in that episode type of thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, the way it's reflected back onto Subaru from his parents and their reactions and like supporting him. And I mean, he's a neat. He's kind of a loser, but like his parents
Yeah.
still love him and they still support him, and like that's what good parents do. And if you really care about your son or daughter, and I don't know, like that type of, that type of shit just hits me. And it was so chef's kiss,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 episode.
It was a great episode. And yeah, again, like my relationship's great with my parents too, but there are definitely times where I'm just like, man, are they proud of me? Are they whatever? Like it's a doubt that is natural to have, and I think they did a good job of highlighting the emotions that he was feeling, and then demonstrating the healthy relationship that he wants to have with his parents, or he hopes that he would have had with his parents. Again, I fucking love there were so many good things in the show, that's why I was so frustrated when they were just, I'm suffering. Like, oh my god, shut up.
I feel ya.
Sorry.
No,
That's a
you're
weird
good.
thing
You're
to
good.
do.
But like, so like the ending, we find out that Amelia is the queen, or sorry, the witch of, I think, was it Envy?
It's Envy would be Amelia, but are we sure she's the
It's
witch?
like we're
Or
like
is it-
9. Okay, because they had
or
like
is
the
it
hint
the
in like
witch of
episode 8 where Subaru was killed by the witch of Envy outside
Right.
of the sanctuary like trial cavern thing that he's in. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's Amelia.
Well, so like, or is that the Witch of Envy looking like Amelia? That's where I was kind of like, I'm not sure
And that could be
whether that was
true.
her, because the Witch of Envy is the one who gave him that curse, right? And then my understanding is the Witch of Envy wants him to love her. She is envious of Subaru's feelings for Amelia, which
Yes.
is why so maybe she makes herself
You
look
could.
like Amelia.
I
That
think
was
this is.
my
Yeah.
interpretation.
We need
Again,
to.
that's why we need to know.
We need to
find
know.
out.
Yes, we need to know. So there.
Yeah.
From my understanding with talking to people, I thought a lot of people just thought it was Amelia, but now that we're talking right here and right now, actually I'm leaning more towards what you think. So
I don't know. I thought that was my interpretation of it, but again, I can totally see. I mean, who knows? We'll find out. But
hey, maybe
I
it's
would be,
both. Who knows? I don't know. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Well, it'll be crazy. But
maybe it's her half elf other side, something. I don't know what the fuck. I
yeah,
don't remember. I
I
don't
feel
even
you.
know her origin. Her origin's very confusing because it has been highlighted very
Yep.
much. Where the fuck is Puck, by the way? Like
Yeah, Puck
dope
just
ass
dipped. He said, "Yeet,
dope,
I'm out," or
dope
she
ass
said, "I'm
nickname.
out."
Like where the hell he or she went? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a
They
girl.
Wait,
I don't
Puck's not
know.
in this season?
Puck
what?
is
No,
not in
it
this season.
literally
No.
doesn't even make an
Oh,
appearance. I think no, he's in the first
fucking,
season.
He's in the first episode, I think.
First episode for
Yep.
like 5 minutes, and that's it.
fucking, like, I was thinking about watching.
Nah, nope, not anymore.
No.
No Puck, not for Cat.
No Puck, I'm out.
No
I'm out,
Puck.
bro.
Yeah, but I guess we can do our final scores then if you're ready.
I'm ready. So yeah, like you said, the suffering thing about Subaru is really annoying, but to like counteract that, his character development from season 1 to season 2 was it was incredible. Like Subaru will be nominated for best boy of the year. I'm already throwing that out there. He was so good. The twists and turns of like what happened, especially when like Rosewall killed like Ram and the other guy in one of the scenarios I was like, what the fuck? Like it was one of those things. So lots of twists, lots of turns. Really enjoyed the characters that we had. Ram got a glow up this season. She was great.
Yeah,
and so
she
did
did.
Beatrice. Beatrice, we got to see her. She wasn't just like the tsundere in the library. Like she's like a insanely strong like sorceress or something.
Yeah, she grew up, I suppose.
Yeah. So
I suppose.
yeah,
I suppose. Who
yeah.
knows?
I mean, she's 300 years old. It's cool, right?
Yeah, no, she.
No,
she
okay.
don't make Kashira, whatever the fuck she
yeah,
always
I
says.
think-
Yeah, I suppose.
ReZero Season 2 Part 1, I thought was incredible. I think it's setting up to be one of the best isekais ever made. I already thought Season 1 was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to Part 2. If you put the two together, I think it has a chance at being like a 10 out of 10, but I'm giving the first part a 9 out of 10.
Fair enough. I can echo most of Pete's points. I think there really weren't bad characters this season. They were all interesting in their own way, and I am in love with this idea of the witches and whether they're truly bad or not, and analyzing the whole the sin behind them and everything like that. That is such a cool thing to me. However, yeah, the overboard on the suffering was just so unnerving to me, and also it does have its moments too where the show is just like, all right, like get to the point, or come on, you're stretching. Yeah, and also like Subaru just doesn't learn sometimes things that I think should be pretty obvious to me, and maybe again that's just me overthinking, and looking at it from an outside perspective. But
Yep.
I still think there are moments where Subaru makes mistakes that he should not be making, or makes really poor decisions that I don't care what mental state you are in after dying. You should be doing better. I get it. That's part of the show. He needs to die. He needs to suffer. He needs to make mistakes. But for me, 8 out of 10. It's better than the first season for sure. I think I gave that one a 7. I think 8 out of 10 is a pretty fair score for
I
this
absolutely agree.
so far, and it definitely can go up. It could definitely go up with the second core
For
or
sure.
whatever you want to say. That's in winter, isn't it?
Winter,
That's
the most stacked season of all time. Winter
pretty much.
2021.
Yep.
All right, so I give it a 9, and Pat gave it an 8. And the show that's not going to get a 9 or an 8 that me and Kat reviewed is Monster Girl Doctor. It's what if Monster Musume main character was a doctor instead of I don't know what he is, like a household maid type of dude who just takes care of monster girls?
He's just getting paid to have harem.
What was that, Pat?
So is this not the same idea as Interviews with Monster Girls? Is that not Monster Musume?
No. Interview with
Really?
Monster Girls is a fantastic show.
Yes.
Okay, so this is nothing like that. Okay,
It's
good
like
to know.
Monster Musume. It's like the ecchi harem monster girl harem thingy majiggy.
Oh, so this is right up Cat's alley.
Oh,
then.
I mean, I don't think it's Kat that would like this as much as, I don't know, Brady maybe, but
That's maybe that's a
Yeah.
better example. Okay, fair enough.
Kat, I don't know if you have any strong words or opinions on the show because I really don't. So you can take it away from here.
Okay, so I binged this show. I think I actually binged this show day before yesterday and yesterday, and the day before yesterday and yesterday. And all I have to say is that Monster Girl Doctor is honestly, see, here's the thing. It is an odd mixture between interviews with Monster and Monster Musume. It has the character development. Like it's kind of muffled, but it has the character development of interviews with Monster Girl. Has the slight ecchi of Monster Musume. It's not like they're both getting pushed together. It's like they're negotiating which ones they're gonna highlight. And honestly, it's kind of if it went full in on one or the other, I feel like it would have been a better show. If it had more character development rather than ecchi, maybe it would have been a little bit more like, oh, hey, there's this interesting world with this interesting doctor that's going around and doing a lot of these things.
Kat,
And,
can I ask you a question real quick, though?
What's up?
Were you expecting character development from a show called Monster Girl Doctor?
Not really. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it, because it showed a little bit of character, but it also showed a little bit of ecchi. And I'm like, bro, like it looks
Pick
like
one.
you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely
like,
need to pick one.
I haven't even seen it. Again, I was just reading it, like reading the mal synopsis. I'm just like, God, I'm so not interested in this at all. I'm glad I didn't tune in for it.
Like it's so confusing too. Like because there would be some episodes character.
Oh, Kat, Kat, you cut out. Redo what you're saying.
So there will be some episodes where complete character development, and then there will be where it is almost complete ecchi. But there's no real like, oh, hey, here's a complete joining of the two, or there's no hey, this is what the show is supposed to be, the whole show. Maybe we're gonna have a little bit of here, or like vice versa.
Sure.
Like it makes me a little bit angry about how it goes through its thing. Like, and I will say that I do want to have a comparison between Monster Musume and Monster Girl Doctor.
Of course, they copy and pasted it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I will say that this does not compare to Interviews with Monster Girls. It is a vastly better show.
Well, those are okay. You can compare this to Monster Musume. Please leave Interview with Monster Girls out of this because that show is wholesome and fantastic. We're talking ecchi trash harems. Monster Musume only.
Speaking of ecchi harems, the only other thing that this studio that made this show has done is the 2 seasons of Bokuben and some other random.
Oh,
game,
interesting.
Something. Yeah, Arvo Animation apparently.
Okay.
Good to know. Again, I'm just trying to find something about this show so I can say something other than just, oh, it has Monster Girls in it.
Yeah, I mean that's 90% of the show.
That's all there is to it.
I will say that for me, this show is better than.
Really,
That's
you
just
think it's
me.
better than Monster Musume?
Maybe, like, you know how I am though. Like it's that, like, the whole ecchi thing isn't up my alley. So,
Sure.
like, having a little bit less ecchi and
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That does make sense.
So, I mean, it's not much, but
Sure.
it's there.
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, this is Monster Musume, and then they just took the main character and made him a doctor. That's like it. And then it's not an urban world. It's more of like a Renaissance period, I guess I would classify it as. Yeah, this show sucked. It was not good. I went into obviously I saw the genres going into it, and like I knew what to expect. Like ecchi, harem. I guess it's labeled as a comedy, but I don't know if I laughed really. Like, I'm sorry, Kat, I hate to do this. Non-Baka is funnier than the show. Like, that's saying how bad the comedy is in the show. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I had to, bro. I had to. I'm sorry. I'm Jimmy Butler right now. I'm taking shots. But, like, Yeah, so this show is just like a copy paste. Kind of like what Kat said. If I'm watching like ecchi harem shit, like give me that. Like that's why I'm watching it. And it had the harem aspect, like for sure had the harem aspect. This was just like a really boring like harem show, I guess I would put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't have anything to talk about. I liked Safi, the snake girl. I liked her a lot. I loved her character. That was it.
Yeah.
Glenn, the main character, doctor, awful.
Is-
Huge Sally boy. Never steps up to the plate when a girl legit says, "I want to marry you," and he's just like, wow, I can't believe a girl likes me. This is crazy. It's like, really, you don't notice all these other 8 chicks that are like clawing at your dick? Like, crazy, right? So, I mean, I don't have a lot to say, Kat. I don't know if you want to like do your closing statements and your rating, but I mean, there's just not a lot to say about this show.
As you know, I hyper. So, from my notes, from my non-existent notes that are completely in my head. So I genuinely have looked over. I've genuinely like looked at Monster Musume. I didn't rewatch it because I didn't want to, but and I didn't have time.
That's understandable.
But yeah, but I kind of compared the characters, and like the characters of this show are a little bit more. I like these characters a little bit more than Monster Musume. This isn't saying much, but like Safi, of course, really good character. I liked Illy mainly because she was better than what was it, Happy the Harpy. This is not saying much, but like Happy the Harpy is not a you can really say. Like she's the lowly of that group, and in this one she's a little bit less of a lowly. Then you have the mermaid girl, who literally the mermaid girl from Monster Musume wants to die with her lover, and that fucking pissed me off.
Yep.
While this show it was a little bit more like, oh hey, she's kind of immature, which that it can be said for everyone in this show. And the one thing that I can say is the spider chick from the spider chick. I do like the hedonist part of it, but the only mature person in Monster Musume was the spider chick.
Oh, hard disagree. Hard disagree. She wanted to steal the doctor from her best friend. She wanted to NTR the doctor.
No. I'm talking about Monster Musume.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's different. Because I hated this. I hated the spider chick in this show.
Oh yeah, I did too. That's the reason why Monster Musume spider was extremely mature, and I liked her. She would kind of carried the show for the whole 2 episodes then, and so that's my thoughts on Monster
So
Musume.
what would you give Monster Girl Doctor out of 10?
Fucking maybe a high 5, low 6. So
yeah, pick one or the other.
Like 6.
A 6. Okay.
Probably like a 6.
Okay. A 6 out of 10. That is a generous 6 out of 10. I'll put it that way.
Sounds very generous, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, this show sucked ass. Like, it was not funny. If you're looking for, like, a harem, there are about 47,000 better shows than this. I liked 1.5 of the characters. I like the Phoenix chick, too. The Phoenix chick and the spider. Or not the spider, sorry, the snake. I like 2 of the characters. Yeah. Really boring. I don't even know why I kept watching it. Probably because I like watching, like, one ecchi trash show a season. I think this was the only one. So, yeah, not a whole lot to say. This is a 4. Monster Musume is better than this show. So, if you're looking for... If Monster Girls is your thing, no judging here. Watch interviews with Monster Girls, because that's wholesome and fantastic. But if you want that ecchi harem shit, watch Monster Musume.
Moving on to a better harem.
Yeah, but moving on... Fruits Basket is...
I'm kidding. I know.
Crazy, but we're moving on to...
It was a joke, sorry.
We're moving on to quality. Let's put it that way. We're
yeah.
not talking Monster Girls anymore. We're talking... Oh, wait, we are... No, we're talking Monster... I guess there's a Monster Girl, kind of, depending on how you view it. But we're talking about the second season of Fruits Basket. I'm going to compare this... So it's a continuation of Season 1. And it's kind of... ish broken up into 2 cores because it's like 25 episodes. And I'm gonna compare it to Doctor Stone. Doctor Stone Arc 1 was an 8 out of 10, and that's Arc 2 was a 10 out of 10. Same thing with Fruits Basket season 2. Wow, because before I was watching season 1, or sorry, the first part of the season, I liked it. It was very emotional, really good, like just character development and interactions with each other, with trying to figure out Toru. Essentially, her goal at the Christmas episode, I think, was like, I'm going to break the curse. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, it's kind of hinted that she's doing it because she's fallen in love with somebody. I'm not going to say who, but because I know who she does, and it hasn't gotten there in the story yet. But so Toru wants to break the curse, and so we get to see like the background stories for a lot of the other Zodiac members. We got Rin, who's the horse. We got some like development with Yuki and his brother. We got to see some development with Yuki and his mom. Yuki was a huge part of this one, more than Q was.
Who was the focus of the first season?
Yes,
more.
because we got to see him like the student council. Well, no, was he student council?
It was he is the student council president, and also more development with him and Evil Boy. God, there's so many character names.
There's just so many characters in the show in general.
Yeah, what's his name? God damn it. Hold on. Akito. Thank you.
Yes.
Or what is? All right. Well, again, spoiler.
This is spoiler because it happened in the show.
This is spoiler, but it did happen in the show. What is her name actually?
Okay. I don't know if I'm dumb. I don't know if I'm dumb. I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't either.
I thought
Don't worry.
for sure he was just a dude, and he was just really emotional and really handsy and all this stuff with the guys.
Yeah.
No, it's a chick. It's a chick.
No,
I'm like,
yeah.
What?
It totally caught me off guard too. I was not ready for that. I didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah.
Like I could not believe when that happened. I was just like, really? Like, it didn't feel necessary either. Which, of course, maybe it'll go into more detail as to why.
Oh, I thought it was just very necessary.
Really? Because like I don't think it changed how I viewed the person.
What is his name? Hold on. Kurino, how he like left the house for the first time without Akio's like permission, essentially.
Yeah.
Really was like because she was always just like, stay with me, never leave me, that type of stuff. It's like, why would he say that like so much? And it's found out that's like it's a she, and she loves him. Like,
I think, is it that she loves him though, or is that she is afraid of losing him because he is the first one to break the bond?
To me, I feel like it's because she loves him. That's how because like you see it like kind of like both of their like first sexual experiences are with each other, and it's been kind of like that for I think they're a little older, since it showed it when Kurino was like a junior or senior in high school, and I think Akio was like probably middle school aged. I want to say she seems a little younger than him. Nothing, maybe like 2 or 3 years difference or something like that. But
yeah,
I think there was a big reason why that reveal happened. Kat, shut up. I see you making faces. I mean, this is a character-driven story. Like, let's be real. There's so many characters that you get heavily invested in. And it's because Toru is such an amazing character.
She is awesome.
She interacts with all the cast members so well, as essentially the outsider to the Soma clan, but she's accepted by pretty much everybody, at least in the main cast of the Soma clan. I'll say that way. I also put it out there, the Eden by, I think his name's Monkey Magic, is my favorite ED of all time. If you heard the opening song to the AMV, that's Eden. It is incredible. Yes. Oh my god, I love Eden so much. It's not even gonna be a spoiler when we do our anime of the year. Like, that's winning ED of the year because it's my favorite ED of all time.
It's up there for me too. It's a really good ED. I
loved it so much.
I loved the first opening a lot more. The second one is okay, but the first OP is like the bass drop in it. It's just like, it's so sweet, and the build up to it. I loved it's just Fruits Basket music. It's always so pleasant, and it just makes you feel warm and fuzzy and good.
Yes, it does. It's a blanket of songs. It really is.
It's so good.
Man, I don't know what else to say really, because
I can say some stuff.
Sure,
I guess didn't really go into my opinions. I agree though that the first arc, or the first half of it, which is probably why I fell behind on it when I first was watching it, was very very slow. The first part of the season has a few very slow episodes where stuff doesn't really happen or it doesn't feel like things are happening. But it progressively just got better and better and better as the season went on. I cannot speak highly enough about that episode with Shigure's girlfriend who actually likes the what's his name, the dragon guy. You know, like that episode was great where it
Yep.
showed I that was where it really started picking up for me again, where I was just like, okay, this is the fruits basket I want. This is the stuff I'm here for. And uh this show, I am a big Q stan. I will always be the Catboy stan, and I'm rooting for him, and I think he will win at the end. But I have no idea. I haven't been spoiled yet somehow.
I mean, I think this season made it pretty obvious. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to do any
with
spoilers.
well,
I
well, yeah,
think you definitely see it with Yuki because I
with the
think
way he talks about it, right? Yeah,
yes, he starts viewing Toru as like a sister
or a mother,
or a mother.
or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
exactly. As a
rather
family member than a romantic interest.
than a romantic, which is why I am pretty sure. Yeah, Kyo's gonna win now, but of
Yeah,
course
I
you
think
never know.
so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, which is good though. I'm happy with that again because I am a Kyo stan. However, I have to say I hated Rat Boy. I've hated him for a long time. That's why I don't call him by his real name. He's Rat Boy. He fucking sucks. I hate Rat Boy.
Rat boy.
Rat Boy. This show made me feel things for him, and I was shocked. Like
Wow.
feel things as in feel bad for him,
Oh, okay.
and feel emotion. Yeah, no. Kyo's still my man, my husbando. Actually, no. The cow guy. God, what's his name? Again, so many goddamn names in this show.
There are so many names in the show. You can't just
Um,
say Soma because there's 37 Somas.
yeah, this cowboy was
Cowboy, yeah,
fantastic.
let's go with that.
Cowboy. Hatsuharu. There he is. He was great. He's my husbando. But
Great choice,
from
by
the
the
show.
way.
But either yeah, thank you. I knew it was. Either way, I can't believe I was feeling things for Rat Boy. Like I was feeling emotional about things that were going on, and I started to understand how he acts and his relationship with Akito and things along those lines. The Cinderella play was fucking awesome.
So good!
Oh, it was so
Oh, it was
good.
so good.
Like when they rewrote it too, that was so funny. Toru's friend Arisa, I am rooting for her so hard. I actually think I am rooting harder for her to get with the Rooster Boy,
Yep.
Kureno, more so than I am for Toru to get with Kyo.
I
Like
agree. I
am
love that
I am on
dynamic.
that train. I am on that. It was great. Uh, I can't wait. I don't know how they're gonna wrap this up in 13 episodes. I guess there's gonna be
Has
like
it been confirmed for 13? Because I've only seen
well,
that they're getting a season 3 and that's it.
so when they first announced season 1, they announced that they were going to adapt all of the manga this
Yep.
time, and then they also announced that it'd be split into 5 cores, or that it would
Oh,
be
that makes sense. Okay.
60 something episodes, which of course when the first season happened we knew it was 25, and then the second season started we didn't know if it was going to be 13 or 25, and then like but yeah, so it's 5 cores, so we've done 4, so there's
Yep.
1 core left. So my guess is it's going to start out next season with like a short arc wrapping up the stuff that was left kind of cliffhangery at the end of this one, and then there'll be like a good like long final 8 or 9 episode arc to end the series. I can't wait for that because I'm sure it's just going to crescendo so nicely into something so pleasant. And again, the show, it just makes you smile and it makes you feel warm and fuzzy when you're watching it.
It makes you smile. It makes you cry. It makes you
Yep.
smile and cry. It makes you. It hits all the buttons because there's some like, man, there's some great comedy in the show. There's some great drama in the show. There's some
Oh yeah.
great. I'm assuming the next part we're gonna start getting like the real romance because there are some like romantic elements, mostly with the side characters, but not really with
Yeah.
the main cast. I'm assuming the next season is going to be pretty
Romance
heavy
heavy for
pack.
sure.
I'm really hoping Yuki goes with that like quiet chick in student council. I really like the dynamic towards the end of the second season
Mhm.
when she's like kind of getting picked on and then
Machi.
You see Machi getting picked on and you see Yuki like debating whether he should step in or not, and then you kind of see Machi stand up for herself, and then they do like the announcement or whatever, and they start running away because the girls want to take pictures with Yuki, but it was all fake.
Yeah.
And then you see Yuki, I think he blushes after the fact, so it's like it's kind of hinted that I think Yuki's starting to feel something for her, which I am all for it. I love this show
No.
so much.
I loved the student council. All of them are fun. I mean,
So good.
the little brat kid is annoying, but that's what he's supposed to
See, I
be.
like him because he's like the voice of
He's the
reason
voice
for
of reason
in
though too. That's
a
exactly, which is why he's annoying
yeah,
to us because we just want the hijinks, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
But he is good. I really like the other girl too, who she reminds me a lot of Iroha, where she's like the pretends to be dumb and just flirty and stupid, but then like when she actually like shows herself or her real character, she's actually really smart and like knows what she's
Sure,
doing,
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess, you
yeah.
know. Which I loved that. I again, there's just like with Origairu, there's not really a bad character in the show. I don't know. Did you see the twist coming? That Kuruno broke the curse with Akito, because I think I didn't see it coming when I started the show, but then there was like one point where I was like, oh, maybe that's what's off about him. Like maybe that's what's like. And then of course the final episode when they revealed it, I was just like, ooh, like that.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming because the whole time it's kind of like wrapped up. It's like how is Toru or how is the gang going to like break the curse, and then you find out that it is possible. So now it's just figuring out how to do it. So
Yes, exactly. That's what so I look forward to that. Shigure, the dog boy has been interesting. I know he's I feel like they try to play him as more shady than he actually is. I don't get it. Like it's weird. It doesn't feel like even like the shady things that he does that they frame as shady
yep,
don't really feel that shady to me. Maybe that's just I don't know, maybe that's because I'm an older person looking back at what do you call it, a shojo. So you know, so a shojo has more younger adult themes, I guess. You know, if that makes sense, that like maybe
sure.
a young adult might view it as more shady than someone who's older and more experienced. I don't know. Maybe that's just me looking into it too much. But I other than that, I can't really say much else about again. We talk so much about the characters because that is the focus of the show.
It's yeah. It's
And
if you don't like character like focused shows, you will not like the show at all. Especially a
mm-mm.
large cast of them because they all get. I think most of them all get like at least an episode.
Yeah, and whether that was not enough Kagura for me, the pig girl, or boar girl. I really enjoyed her in the first season. She got a full episode like in the first season though. So like everyone gets their own episode at some point. Some of them get more. Like Horse Girl had essentially like 3 or 4 episodes, which was good because
Very
they
good.
very good. Um, and everyone gets their time to shine, and it's great. They all have their little quirks that are cute. The tiger girl and what do you call it? Or sheep boy? I don't remember what the two of them are, but they're cute together.
No, the
Again,
brother and sister or whatever. Or are they brother and
no,
sister?
no, they're not. No. They're little children.
Yeah. They
They
just
yeah,
seem like brothers and sisters, I
yeah. Well,
guess.
they're like best friends and like very clearly
I mean,
like
they're
they're trying to
cousins.
set
They're
them
all
up.
cousins or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but it's clearly hinted that they are jealous of each other and like have interest in each other in like a very like juvenile
Very
romantic
juvenile.
way.
Yeah, nothing
You know,
crazy.
like nothing crazy, but like it's definitely like implied that they have feelings for each other. But
Yep.
again, that's kids. Um, I don't know what else to say. This good
No,
show.
we of my final thoughts. The show, if you're a fan of, I, it's this is a drama. This is a hardcore drama.
100%.
I thought season one was a lot more slice of life, and season two got a lot more serious. We're dealing with a lot more of the serious family issues that they have. So I would categorize this as a drama, at least season two. If you're a fan of that stuff, if you like heavy character shows with a bunch of interactions, if you like a Monogatari where it's character and dialogue based, this is character and dialogue based. Thoroughly enjoyed season two. Like I said before, the ED is my favorite ED of all time. Toru is a gem. I love her so much. And the cast is so great. I thought Yuki will probably be like a best boy nominee. I thought he killed it this season. So many good things to say. Like I said earlier, I thought the first arc was like an 8. The second arc was a 10. Especially the Cinderella play episode. Holy crap, that was beautiful. So
That was
overall I'm gonna give the show a 9.
fair enough. I think I judged the first half of the season a little more harshly. I don't think it was an 8 overall for me, but I do agree that Cinderella episode 10 out of 10. Like it was so, I was laughing the entire time. I wanted more, and it was so well done. It fit the characters perfectly, and I was so happy with it. Um, Again, that final episode was just wow. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe all the things they dropped.
Really good twist.
Really good twists that also were foreshadowed in ways where it's like you sit there and you're like, oh, that makes sense, or oh, this could have happened. That's cool. Um, I loved it. It got better as it went along. I gave this an 8 out of 10 overall. Again, I was
Respectable.
very, very, very happy with it. I think I gave season 1 a 7 out of 10 because,
I,
but again, because
I'm
there
in
are
the
the
same boat. I gave season 1 an 8. I thought this was a little better. I gave it a 9. You said
right.
season 1 was a 7. This one's better. You gave it an 8.
Yeah, it definitely was better, but again, those slow parts again, it was just like, God damn it, do I really want to watch Fruits Basket? Like there were moments where I was like, I really don't want to watch
I
this
did the
right
same
now.
thing, especially the first half. Was like
In the first
was
half,
it's
exactly.
Monday. It's like I want to watch Fruits Basket. It's like, do I watch it in the morning or do I watch it like before I go to bed type of thing? And then when it got
Yep.
to the second half, it's like
I
I'm
need to
watching this
watch
on my
this. Yep.
lunch break. Like I'm watching this as soon as I can. Like I
Yeah,
love.
like yeah, it took me a while to slug through that first half, and then the last like 9 episodes, I think I
Yeah.
binged within like 2 days. So that there you go. That's a great example for what it was like.
Well, speaking of a good transition of slugging, somebody that I would love to slug in the face is the main character of Rent a Girlfriend.
Yes.
Kazuya, suck a dick, dude. Oh my god. You know who won't be on the Best Boy nominee? Kazuya, because he is one of the worst characters I've ever seen in anime. I hate him. I hate him so much. But that being said, Rent a Girlfriend is not just about Kazuya. It's about a bunch of different girls interacting with each other and trying to find a way to get over I don't know, for some reason, a very serious, like 1 month college dating experience. I had a lot of issues with Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah.
But before I get into that, OP slapped Peggy's kick ass. Centimeter is incredible
Yes.
OP, so at least
He's
the
good too.
opening got me into like a good part of the show. But man, speaking of Christmas episodes, oh
Ugh.
my god, the Christmas episode of Rent a Girlfriend. I if I don't.
Sorry.
Let me say this. I saw something online. If people relate to Kazuya as a character, you are
You are
a
an
shit
incel.
person.
Yes,
You
you
are
are.
a garbage person, and you don't be a better person by making mistakes, by ruining like other people's experiences or memories or other relationships. It's please do not reflect yourself as Kazuya for Rent a Girlfriend. There are
Yeah.
other ways to get through breakups. And if you want to rent a girlfriend, I don't care. Don't stalk her. Don't be a creep. But that being said, the supporting cast I loved. I love the supporting cast.
Yes.
Even Mommy.
It's great.
Okay,
Oh,
I
it's
know
great.
I know it's fuck Mommy gang like all day. Like don't.
Of course.
It's like fuck Rachel, but like fuck Mommy. She was a piece of shit, and I think a lot of people liked her in like the last episode where I didn't. But I still like her as a character. I mean, you should mind your own business. Like, stay out of it. Like, you don't care.
But she does care.
I mean, does she though? I think she just. I think
she
this is
cares.
like the first time in her life where she got like one upped. At least that's what I'm getting out of it.
That could be one way to see it. I think
That's
it
how
could
I'm
go
getting
either
it.
way. That I could see that. And the other way I see it though is that she does actually she still had feelings for Cosmo. Like that's why she accepted him in the first place. Like when he asked her out or whatever. But which of course we haven't really seen how that started. I don't think. I think other than just like, oh hey, do you want to date?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
kind of what it was.
That's kind of what it was. I don't know. Again, it's I love Mommy because she's meant to she plays the villain, so to speak, really, really well, and she actually has decent character developments, which is why I really enjoyed her. Although again, yes, fuck Mommy. Like she's I am Mizuhara is probably my best new girl
Oh, we'll
of
get
the
to
year.
that. We'll get to that.
But
Hold on.
we'll get to that.
Hold
Yeah,
on to
sorry,
your thoughts about that. We'll get best girl
before I get
debate.
into that, yeah, Kazuya sucks. Kazuya sucks. All right, let me read my notes. Kazuya
Yeah.
sucks. Kazuya sucks. I agree that the whole relating to him part was I couldn't believe it when people were like admitting to that online with their like not even with their anime accounts either with their
Yeah,
with their personal accounts. I was just looking at tweets and I was just like, man, like no, like he's relatable in the sense that he's like the thing that you think of and you're like, oh man, I really want to do this, and then you sit back and you're like, wait, no, the fuck I don't. That's a terrible thing to do, and that would be a terrible decision. But except he does it again. I talked about this when it happened in the episode. I loved this in the episode. This is probably my favorite part of the show in terms of like what the show was doing with Kazuya. the scene where he's jacking off and he's like trying to think of mommy because he's like, man, that's who I care about. That's the girl I like. That's the girl that I'm gonna get off to. And then suddenly he realizes that he realizes he likes Chizuru, or he's falling for Chizuru because she keeps popping into his head
Yep.
while he's beaten off. That was so good because that is absolutely a real thing that that can happen to someone. Like that is such a and the fact that they went there and did it, I got to give them props for that. That is a creative way. And it is, again, I think it's a completely real way. I'll go out on a limb and say that I think it's a completely realistic thing for someone to
Absolutely.
realize they have feelings for like that. I know it's like a cringy thing and you might be like,
I
"Oh,
don't
well,
think it's
Pat,
cringe at all. I think
Pat, are you admitting that this is something that you've done before?" It's like, no, I'm not going to necessarily say that, but I think it's completely realistic that someone will realize that they have feelings for someone, underlying feelings for someone when they are doing something so um, heavily invested
it's
in
like a
their heart.
rebound. It's like a
It's a rebound.
rebound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you break up with somebody and then I don't know, you run off with somebody else and you realize like, oh, I'm just doing this because of whatever. Maybe rebound's a bad example, but like
No.
it's
uh,
coming to that realization of like
Yeah.
what you actually feel. Like you're not just doing it in the moment. It's like, oh, this is actually like this is my real feelings. Like this is how I feel about X person type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So they
So
did that specific scene with him jacking off, great. But then the rest of it, where every other time they showed him in his apartment, there were fucking tissues everywhere. It was just like, all right, we get it, we get it. He jacks off a lot. Like, holy shit, we get it.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, did you
like,
guys know that
oh,
guys jack off a lot?
yeah, and college guys do. Really, I
Hey,
didn't know that.
what was more annoying though? How many times he jacked off, or how many times Subaru died?
The Subaru
Oh
dying.
yeah, for sure.
Premium part. Because
so
Super dying would be 30 seconds, and this would be like literally a 5-second freeze frame, maybe. Yeah.
True,
Anyways, go ahead,
true.
Kat. Sorry. Go ahead.
so I just wanna. But here's the thing: I didn't watch all of like 1.5 episodes, the first episode and half of the second episode.
Kat, you're cutting out
And
pretty bad. I don't know if you're just talking too fast, but it's cutting out.
It is
I'm
kind of.
probably talking too fast. So I just want to want to join on to. I watched 1.5 episodes of Rent a Girlfriend, and the thing is, like after 1.5 episodes, I was like, done. And I'm gonna find the episodes where each girl is introduced, and then after that, because I hate this show.
Kat, we're losing you pretty hard. So
God damn.
so I don't know if it's your internet or something like that, but you're cutting out pretty hard right now. So
My understanding of what Kat was saying is that he skipped ahead to each episode where a girl was introduced, and then that was pretty much all he cared about. And I think that's completely fair because again, the side girls are like the most interesting part of the show. Again, I'll go out on that limb again. Chizuru is probably best girl of the year so far for me. Other than
ooh, of the year.
I think of the season you could argue it, and maybe even of the year. Again, from new shows. Of course, you can't put so discounting
Oh,
Origairu.
really? Watch me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you take out Origairu, maybe this one. I don't know. I think Chizuru is fantastic. I think she is an awesome waifu. And I don't know. Again, there are other girls in the season like Echidna, even Minerva, not Minerva. God, blanking on the name. But either way, like the ReZero girls. There's so many good picks this season, but I think she was the best girl from the show by far. I don't think there's even close to competition in the show yet. I get people like Ruka, whatever, but I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. She's not for me. That's too much.
I'm Sumi gang. I love Sumi.
I love Sumi
Oh,
too.
Sumi's so adorable.
She didn't have enough. She didn't have enough.
She did not
though,
have enough. But you know what? From what I saw from her, okay, Chizuru is the best girl. But if I'm picking a team, I'm Sumi gang. Like Sumi gang or die
enough.
for sure.
That is completely fair, and I get that. Because she would be my team as well.
Yeah, Kat, do you have in like one word who's your best girl? Since I don't know if your mic's gonna pick up or not.
So one word, probably Sumi. I really don't like. I'm to be honest. This whole show was kind of for me with it was ruined for me when Kazuya screamed. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Because every other chick, like all the chicks in the show, amazing, pretty damn good. Even Mommy.
It's
I didn't
fuck
really.
mommy, but she's a good character.
Yeah, like she's at least a good character. Kazuya is just basically a copy of all the incels in the United States. That's pretty much what I can say.
Well,
But
Japan too, yeah. Like
Man.
just
yeah, in
incel.
Japan too.
His
Just
budget?
incels across the world.
That was a really long word, by the way. Well done.
Dude, he spent like $300 for a date. Like,
God
when
bless.
I had
yeah.
a girlfriend, I was just like $300 for a date. Dude, this dude is insane. This dude's money management pissed me off so much. Like,
Yep.
dude, if I was given $10,000 by my parents, I mean, I'd ball out for a little bit, but come on, I'm not gonna go to a club or something. Like, meet girls that way. Don't rent a girlfriend. I don't know. It's crazy.
Grandma best girl, actually, maybe.
Ooh, she was solid. She was really
She's
good.
really good.
She was
really good.
really good.
Mhm.
I like Ruka's design, and I just didn't like her as a person, honestly. Like, it was so pushy and so forced onto everything. Like, I don't
She's
know.
just a brat, which
She is
like,
a- she is a
that's
brat,
what she's
yeah.
that's what she's supposed to be, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like it. I actually liked the whole idea of why she cares so much though about Kazuma or Kazuya,
Yeah, not
that
Kazuma.
not Kazuma. Where it's like, oh man, this is the first guy that's actually made my heart like skip a beat or beat hard. Like that is a really really cool reason to, or like it's like, oh wow, that's so you that's how you're determining whether you have feelings for someone or not. I think that's pretty creative. That's a cool way to do it. But oh my god, she's so pushy. She's so annoying, and also she's underage.
She's
so
honestly
fuck off.
my worst girl in the show is Ruka, or yeah,
I,
Ruka. I like Mommy better than her.
I enjoyed Mommy because when she gets that glazed over look in her eyes, I think that's such a fun thing. Like, because you can tell that like that's her real self, but it's also not her real self because that's her worst side coming out, and that's not
Sure.
necessarily her coming out. So that's I always enjoyed that when that happened. So that's I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about Rent a Girlfriend. At least like
I another thing that I hated Kazuya about is his interaction with Shun. Essentially how he meets Ruka for the first time is that his friend rents
Yeah.
Ruka, and I would never he's not only is he like a garbage person, he's a garbage friend, and you see that when like his best friend beats the shit out of him at the beach too. Like,
Yep.
he is garbage to his friends, and best boy is the guy who beats the shit out of Kazuya.
Yeah, that guy's
dude
great.
rocks.
I love
Top
that
tier
guy.
bro. I forgot your name.
I'll find it. Hold on.
Yoshiaki.
What?
Yoshiaki Kibe.
Yeah, Yoshiaki.
Kibe.
Yeah, Kat, you missed it. Yoshiaki beats the shit out of Kazuya. It's great.
Yeah.
What episode is that? I need to watch it.
4?
I think. Yeah, it's
Four-ish?
good.
Episode
Like, dude,
4?
what
It's
the
the
hell-
Okay.
it's the beach episode.
Yeah, it's him. It's him
Yeah.
making fun
I'm
of him
watching
because
that.
he's like, dude, what the hell is the matter with you? Like, you have Chizuru. Why are you even looking at mommy
Oh my
or whatever?
God.
Like, that was so.
You
so
want
good.
someone to model yourself after? That guy. That guy
guy.
rocks. If you see your friends doing something like that, you can either, I don't know your relationship with the person, but in that situation, I think beating the shit out of your friend is a great way to get the point across.
Yep.
Big fan of that guy. So yeah, final thoughts. Kazuya absolutely ruined the show for me. But it's also weird because I'm actually excited to watch season 2.
Me too.
It's
Me
like a
too.
love-hate thing. Like, I hate Kazuya. I pretty much love I shouldn't say love. I really like everybody else. I think it's kind of going to be reflected in my score. Yeah, the OP, fantastic. Probably the best thing about the show, maybe. That and his best friend.
And Chizuru.
And Chizuru. Chizuru, I thought Chizuru was...
Waifu bait. She's the perfect
She's
waifu
waifu bait.
bait.
I thought Kazuya was... Or not Kazuya. Fuck Kazuya. I thought that Chizuru was great. Not, like, amazing. I thought she was a great character. That being said, I'm a stickler for, like, rom-coms. This didn't really do anything for me. Kazuya legit ruined the show. If you're part of the Discord, I had weekly reminder
week.
that fuck Kazuya till death, I guess.
Yep.
So, overall, I'm going to give this show a 5. And I am looking forward to the second season. And I really hope... okay, Pat, I hate to do this to you because I know you're doing SAO next. It's like Kirito. Keep Kirito off the show, and I'm sure it's so much better. Keep Kazuya off the show. I'm sure it's so much better.
There's no show without Kazuya, though. That's
I
the
know,
thing.
but hey,
Uh,
I mean,
But this show is so much better
SAO,
That's a
without
bad
him.
comparison. Sao did great without Kirito. We can talk about that in
Kirito.
2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do that in 2 minutes. So yeah, I gave it a 5. Pat, go ahead.
I'm surprised yours is lower than mine, but yeah, I gave it a 6 just to put it bluntly. Like again, I'm looking forward to the second season, and honestly, I'm probably gonna read the manga because like I've heard good things, and I've heard that he does eventually redeem himself or get better and
Sure.
develop. I've heard that, and I really want to believe it, so I have to see it. And I don't think second season will get us to that point, which is why I will probably read the manga. You know, one night when I'm just not feeling like watching something, I'll sit down and just bang out the entire manga. Um, again, because I've heard I just want to see more Chizuru. I really
Yep.
enjoyed her character, and yeah, fuck Kazuya, man. Oh my god, he was awful. But again, that's part of the show. That's intentionally part of the show. So I think 6 out of 10 is perfectly fair for it. Um, because like this screamed like 7 out of 10 rom com, just fun to watch, nothing
Sure.
memorable. But the fact that Kazuya is such a garbage character or a garbage person, not a garbage character, he's a garbage person
He could be
that
both.
you see, I think
Because I thought he
he
was a garbage
represents.
character too.
I think he represents what he is supposed to be very well, which is like like a guy who's just making terrible decisions for the
This is.
sake of the plot.
Can I pull something super random?
Go ahead.
How like how the mangaka cared more about like the girls than him is that he wears like the same pair of pants every episode, and the girls have different like outfits every single episode.
Pretty much,
This
yeah.
dude needs some pants, dude. You got 10 grand from your parents? Buy some pants, bro. Those
Oh
are
my God.
ugly ass pants. They look like baseball pants.
Yeah.
And they're like high rise. Like you can see his ankle. Like what guys? What like? Is this some like? I don't know. I wear basketball shorts all the time, so I don't know. I don't get fashion, but like, come on, dude. Okay, Kat. If you can, hopefully your mic works. If you do like one sentence on how you felt, and I don't know if you have. I don't know if you have a rating on the show or not since you watched 2 episodes.
Oh, well, I watched. Well, every episode that I watched, it was like half of the episode that was.
Well,
So-
Kat, you're cutting out. I'm gonna have to cut you off. Sorry.
Shit.
Your microphone. I don't know what's happening tonight, but we're having technical difficulties. How about this? Yes or no? Will you continue watching the show?
Hell no.
Okay, cool. All right.
That was crystal clear. That's good.
That was very blatant on how Kat felt about the show. The next one though we're doing is Pat's solo review of SAO since he's the only one who watched it. So take it away, Pat.
All right. So yeah. So Sao. If you have listened to this podcast or have participated in our Discord or just in general, know me. I love Sao. It was one of the first anime I ever like sat down and really watched fully. Like 'cause I watched Naruto and Pokemon growing up. I read Kenshin, whatever. But Sao was like the show that really got me into anime, like way back. Like and didn't make me a seasonal watcher, but really got me into it and got me watching other shit. I will be Sao's first defender and Sao's first critic in every scenario. I adored this season. It was so good. It was everything Sao, everything good about Sao put into a season. The OP, fantastic. Like I guess this is the second part of this season, right? Like the War of Underworld or whatever. So I guess but I view it as its own season at least. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, great OP. It called back to so many different moments and different characters throughout the series, and none of them felt that forced. Again, maybe to someone looking on the outside in, it might feel forced, but for a fan of SAO, it felt great. And I think even people who dislike SAO would say that the fights were, if they watched them and looked at them objectively, the fights were really well animated. The animation in general was really good. Like I think, and I don't know, Pete, maybe if was that a
I did
scoff
see a
or was that
clip. I did see a clip, and the fights look cool. I will say that.
okay? Because I was wondering if that was a scoff or a cough. So that's good to see that
It was a cough. Sorry.
it was a
I
cough.
have
No,
asthma.
because I know again though, because I have not talked to other people that aren't SAO fans about it, but I thought the clips and the fights were fucking sick. Like they were really like to the next level. Like even because even the original SAO, the fight scenes weren't that like mind blowing, other than like the ones that were used for the OP, right? Like there really weren't anything like that's spectacular. This one, it was definitely much more action focused. There's still the stupid contrived plot with what's his name, Kayaba or whatever, the guy who is like uploaded his consciousness. It doesn't really make a lot of
Seto
sense.
Kaiba, yeah, for
That's
sure.
Kaiba. I mean,
He
they do
crossed
an
over from
okay
the
job
Shadow
with it.
Realm into to Alicization, right?
Sorry, yeah. Did I
All right,
say his name?
I'll stop the troll. My bad.
No, thank you. He did though. He was either way though. It's like again, he was good. It wasn't the worst that it could have been, but it also wasn't like there were just a lot of moments that were questionable. And anyone who has seen this season knows exactly what I'm going to talk about right now as the worst moment from the season because it was 5 minutes. If you take out 5 minutes from episode one, and everyone knows exactly what 5 minutes I'm talking about with Lifa, I think you could say it was like exactly what every SAO fan wanted from this season. Like that's where there's this again, just to put it bluntly, there was a tentacle rape scene right in the first episode, 5 minutes long of Lifa just getting fucked with by one of like the Dark Lords or whatever, sucking her life force out with her tentacle whatever shit, and it was just like I literally had to skip that episode. Like I started that episode, was watching it, had a little bit of a warning going into it, knowing what was going to happen, or hearing like, oh, there's a really kind of weird scene. I didn't think I was going to end up skipping it. I literally like fast forwarded because I was just like, this is the worst. Like, what is going on? And again, the rest of the series was fine going forward. It was great. Everything anyone who wants from SAO could have wanted. I think it
So
was. Go ahead.
I just have to chime in here. Just, just completing the quota of its seasonal rape scene. Of
You know,
course, this is why I don't watch SAO.
I don't know. The scenes in SAO that have depicted sexual assault or rape, it seems like again the writer just didn't know how else to make a character bad, or didn't. It was just one that he fell back on when he was first writing. I really don't think that most of them are as bad as they are given the credit for being. I guess there are certain ones that are really bad, like the um the fairy dance one, really bad, but the one in like Gun Gale I don't think was as bad as people give it credit for, especially because it was clear that this guy was a creep. He was obsessive, whatever. I don't think the one in Alicization was that bad either, because it was something that could actually happen, and it was a depiction of what again, it was there to villainize these people and give and justify what happened, and also show how even artificial minds could be broken in certain ways. Again, I don't know. That's another discussion for another day because that was other seasons. This one was just bad. There was no justifying this one. I hated it, and it again, I skipped it. All the other ones I was able to sit through and just be like, all right, that was awkward or that wasn't that great, but whatever. This one I literally had to skip. But again, that's not what I want to focus on because the rest of it, it was it everything that had happened in SAO, especially in Alicization, and all the everything essentially since the first arc, it all seemed to like culminate and ride together to this point, and it felt like an ending to that long journey, and it was so worth it. I know my roommate, who's a big SAO guy, was really happy with how it ended as well. Like he said the same things. It felt like it all came together, and it was like an end of like a full like long arc for so many characters. And I think the most exciting thing out of it was the announcement of Progressive, and I cannot wait for Progressive. That shit is gonna blow me away. I can't wait. I'm curious to see though too if they finish Unitable Ring or whatever the other arc is called in SAO. Um, they. I don't really know what else to say. Feel like I've been talking forever. I know I'm the only one who can talk about it, but I don't want to go on too long about SAO because it's not that popular with some people, especially in this Discord. But I think if you're an SAO fan, you would love this season. Or if you've enjoyed SAO to this point, you're gonna keep enjoying it. This is a good series or a good season of it. Kirito's awesome. Even when he comes back, fucking hype ass moment when he wakes up. Asuna is Asuna. They're great. Alice is a really good character too. I enjoy her and her personality. She's different, but she brings a lot to the show as well. Um, I'm just gonna go 8 out of 10 overall. I'd say because again, like I have a soft spot for this show. I think that scene though really does almost bring it down to a 7 for me. Like that's how
Okay.
that scene was. It was that bad. So
An 8
I don't
out
know.
of 10 for
8 out of
SAO.
10. 8 out of 10, which again is like, it's probably the best. God, again, if you take out that scene, I would almost say it's like the best iteration of SAO, other than the first arc, obviously, but the best iteration of SAO since the movie. Because
Sure.
I think the movie was really well done as well. So I don't know. I think they're both very solid.
All right. Pat, thank you so much for the SAO review. I'm going to be
Yeah,
doing my speed round of shows that, I don't know. It seems like I'm pretty much the only person that really watched it in our Discord, I'll say it that way. And so I'll just do like a quick review and my overall score. First one up is Misfit at Demon Academy. If you like super incredibly overpowered characters, this is the show for you. Honest Vonnegut is an amazing character for this style of show. The first half is set up really well for this. He's essentially reincarnated as the king of tyranny after like 2,000 years. He was born like a normal baby, and then 2 weeks later he's a teenager, and then just stops being a teenager. You know, the Raftalia thing of she's just conveniently a teenager instead of continuing to grow as her levels go up. Kind of the same thing, except this dude, I don't know, he kisses one girl, which was whatever. The show starts off really, really strong. I thought it was gonna be like this really cool, different type of like overpowered character, kind of like how Kasha's Hero did like the satire isekai thing. I thought that was like, I thought this was the vibe it was going with, and the second half sucked ass. So just a quick score, I'll be giving it a 6. If you're a fan of like overpowered main characters, go watch it. Next one up is Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out. I mean, maybe the most popular like Twitter show this season because she's small and has giant tits. It's essentially, it's the college version of Takagi-san. Not as good as Takagi-san, but I still got some really generally good laughs. I thought Uzaki was like a very solid character. I know Kat watched it too, so if you want to chime in, Kat, say something.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I really don't think this show gets enough credit because to be honest, like it's in the middle of a little bit of a cultural shift, and you might say, dude, you're just fucking tripping right now. But like, let me explain real quick. So here's the thing. We've already got Takagi-san. We've got Nagatoro coming out. We've also got Andrew-san in talks to be anime adaptation. And if you know me, you should already know that with this anime, I always say, smug is the new tsundere. And trust me, I fucking love this show, man. Like, this is one of the few shows that I can actually get along with the ecchi. Like, there's a few ecchi scenes
There's
here and there.
a few,
Of course,
but like, I wouldn't call it like a beach scene ecchi. Like, that's how people like dress in real life. Like, unless real life is ecchi.
Well, I mean,
I think it depends on what happens in that beach scene too.
Nothing
though.
happens. Nothing crazy.
All right, well then there you go. That's not really that ecchi then, I guess.
Yeah. But like, it's just kind of like this fan service. Like, this is one of the few shows that I can actually get along with the fan service. So it gets into that like exclusive club, along with that time I got reincarnated as Savan or Tensura, if you don't want to like have a full mouth.
Say slimy
like,
boy. That's what I call it.
Yes. Yeah.
Old slimy boy.
But yeah, like this, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. Honestly, in the past, other than Origairu and just other than Origairu, this was one of the shows that actually kept me entertained throughout the whole show. Like,
what would you give it out of 10?
Probably about like I kind of want to give it an 8, but I know it kind of doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm one to piss people off, so I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay, no, that's fair. I thought this was. Oh, sorry. Finish your sentence.
And also to all the Twitter stands that are saying like Uzaki doesn't have a realistic body style. Like, she does. You just haven't looked at women. Like, you just don't know women that look like this because you're just surrounding yourself with men.
Yeah, yeah. I went to high school with 3 people that have the same body figurement as Uzaki.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, rest my case other than that.
All right.
I can just chime in real quick too. I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing all the clips and I was just sitting there like, man, this just looks like Magical Senpai, but like yeah, teasing, I guess, like teasing Takagi-san. And I don't know. I think it's ironic. I still think though the people on Twitter who were hating on it kind of had some validity where it was just like, yeah, no, like she looks like this, not to like make her look like that because there are people like that look like that in real life, but specifically to be for fan service or
Yeah,
for
it's
to be
anime
buff to
though.
the joke.
Like I just
But
don't
like
understand.
I guess that's how it works.
Yes.
But at the same time, like that's just a show. That's how shows work. So
Exactly.
I wasn't personally bothered by it, but I could see why people might have been. But I also just sitting there, I think it's ironic that this show, no chance in hell does it get a second season without Twitter blowing up over it and causing
We talked
so
about it
much
earlier.
attention.
Negative press is still press.
Negative.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
there is no goddamn way though that this show would have gotten season
yep.
2 without all the without all the attention it gathered from being like so controversial with its character
Because
design.
how
So I
many
think
people?
With
How many people didn't even hear about the show, and then they saw it on Twitter, like people shitting on it, and be like, "Well, now I gotta check this out." Like, I don't think
Yep.
people realize like that's you are getting people to watching the show, even if you're hating on it. Like, but this is the quick round. But like I said before, I don't think this is as good as Takagi-san. Takagi-san is so good. It's a very fun show to watch. I like Uzaki a lot. I'm giving it a 7. The next one is Deca-Dence. It's a combination of Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, and the movie Her. Have you ever seen the Joaquin Phoenix movie where he falls in love with a robot, essentially? That's Deca-Dence. It's insane. It is one of the most creative, original anime I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know how to describe it without you watching it. Those are the 3 combinations. It's essentially...
And 2 of them you hate. So how do you like the show? What?
Okay.
I'm so confused.
It's insane. I cannot... You have to watch Deca-Dence. The OP slaps. I did my top 25 OPs of all time. It is my number 24 OP of all time. It's called Theater of Life. It's incredible. I wish that this show was like 24 episodes instead of 12. That's essentially the only reason why I'm giving it an 8. I felt like it could have... The world is insane. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have done so much more, but like I said, it's an original. Studio Nut, which is the best studio name of all time, did it.
Why did I
Yeah.
laugh at that?
Deca-Dence is just... It's so unique. If you're sick of the cliche anime stuff, watch Deca-Dence. Episode 1 and episode 2 are completely different. Episode 2 to episode 3 are completely different. How the show ends is completely different. It's so great. 8 out of 10 for Deca-Dence. Next show up is a runner-up for maybe the worst show I've seen all year. It's called Mr. Love, Queen's Choice. I checked it out because it was a reverse harem, and I don't think we get a lot of those these days, so I really wanted to give it its due diligence in checking it out. It sucks ass. Essentially what it is humans are evolving, and the people who evolved already are called evolvers. Yep. Evolvers, because they evolve. And the main character is essentially a queen. To put it in perspective, she's like a bard in Dungeons and Dragons. She buffs evolvers. And yeah, governments want to do stuff, and yeah, it's dumb. It's so
I'm
dumb.
bored. I'm already bored. Move on.
Yeah, I gave it a...
This already sounds like a fucked up version of Ava. I mean, not
No,
Ava
not Ava.
or
Not even close.
Kogias.
Yeah,
What's that
for
version
sure.
of Kogias?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
wrong
cause,
Mecha show.
yeah, because like it's the same thing. Because like not every very small amount of people have Giases, and this very small amount of people are evolvers. Like I think it's like 0.00001% of the population are evolvers. Shockingly, the main character finds 4 of them in the first episode. Wow, what are the odds of that? So yeah, this show sucks. Don't watch Mr. Love, Queen's Choice. I'm giving it a 3 because it looks nice, I guess, and one of the characters is cool. It's like he's like an idol, but he's an evolver. He's like a male idol. He was kind of funny. I don't know. It was cute. Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, like
Wait, didn't you give Handshakers a better score than this?
I gave Handshakers a 4. This is worse than Handshakers.
Damn.
Okay, because there's a big difference. If there are shitty shows who know it's shitty, I don't rate it like a 1. If there are serious shows that like try to be serious but are bad, I give it a really low rating. This is a show that's trying to be serious and it's horseshit. 3 out of 10. And then the last one, Millionaire Detective. It's what if James Bond was the richest person in the world, and for some reason he is also a detective at a local Japanese like police agency. Kind of has a cool It kind of has a cool concept. Yeah, a little bit like Batman.
I don't know what else to compare it to.
The
It
OP is
sounds
amazing.
terrible.
The OP is so good. It's called Unlimited because the show is called like Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited because he's so rich, his balance is essentially any number. So essentially what the episodes are is him causing a shit ton of damage to solve the mission and then paying all the damages that he done. And every episode you see like a tab of how much damage he did. So like episode 1 he did like 177 million yen worth of damage, and then you see that at the end of like a line by line item. That was really funny, but other than that the show was really dumb because they tried to do, it was kind of like the Monster Girl Doctor thing. It was trying to be James Bond. It was also trying to be like a shonen like superhero. Like this dude has like the abilities to do things that humans can't, but it's portrayed in a way that they're human. So it's like, this doesn't make any sense. How is he doing all of this type of thing? Yeah, really weird story, but it was fun. It was the best way to put it is like, if you like James Bond, you might like this show. It's a fun show. It's not that great. I'm giving it a 6. And last, the last show of today, we are doing maybe, other than Uzaki-Chan, probably the most controversial anime maybe of the year. I'm honestly going to say maybe of the year, because of the hype it had and like and this is coming off of like Tower of God, and it's pretty good success, I'll say. There's definitely some people that didn't like God of High School, but Tower of God. We're reviewing God of High School. It is it's not, I don't think it's listed as a shonen. It's not listed as shonen according to Mal, but this is a shonen. Like this is straight up a shonen. A competition of different martial arts styles taking place in a tournament that for some reason they're all high schoolers, but some of them are like 45-year-old men because they dropped out of high school. Some of them are just like random like cult members apparently going to public high schools. Really weird like character setup. Apparently everybody in the show has a cold because the tip of their nose is like solid red.
And they all have cauliflower ear too.
Yeah. I did not like the character design of the show. I'll just put it that way. Lots of things to say about God of High School. OP was good.
I loved the
I
OP.
like the OP with the visuals. I think without the visuals, I think it's still a good OP, but with the visuals, it makes it much better.
So good. It's so good.
Jin Mori, the main character, really hit and miss for me because I like that the serious tone of him wanting to enter the tournament, even though we get like a 5-second flashback of how he entered the tournament. Essentially, he got his ass kicked by one of the commissioners, and the commissioner liked him, so he gave him like a entry ticket. But you see that in like a 5-second clip, so that was really whack. Which is the whole pacing of the show. Like the show skipped a shit ton of chapters, and not only skipped a bunch of chapters, pushed 113 chapters, I believe, into a 13 episodic show. So I'm losing my breath. Pat, can you take over? Tell me something that you maybe liked or didn't like about God of High School.
Yeah, so like you said, the OP was so hype. Like it's like this techno dubstep beat that, like, again, that's not even really my genre of music, but again, it was perfect for the show, and with the visuals that went along with it were perfect. And it really, I tuned in every week and I was just like, yes, give me more of this OP. Play it. And I really enjoyed it. For me, I enjoyed the characters themselves. The designs were weird, I agree, but the characters themselves, I was able to enjoy, especially the main three. Don't you dare compare them to Team 7 from Naruto, like some people have. But like I did still enjoy them. They're not at that level, but they are good. Um, for me, my main complaints with the show were the beginning and the early parts of the show. There was too much random cult shit, and that was throughout the show. The cult shit did not hit with me at all. I was just so not about it. I came into this show expecting martial arts to be like the forefront of the show, and like for them to be analyzing different techniques, or like taekwondo, jujitsu, judo, all these things I wanted them to look into and like examine how they go match up against each other in fights in this like tournament arc of anime, right? Like that's what was supposed to be. The God of High School was literally a tournament arc anime. And it ended like halfway through, which ironically I enjoyed the part where it wasn't the tournament arc more.
Agreed.
But like the show like that just to put it bluntly, I think you were probably gonna bring it up eventually. The wedding episode, episode 3,
oh my
was so
god,
bad. It
one of
was
the
awful.
one of the worst episodes in
Yeah,
anime
it's-
I've maybe ever seen. Definitely the worst episode from this year.
For this series and this year,
Yeah.
I agree. I was so just like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this? Why'd they do this?
Can
Like, it felt rushed.
can I
Go
like
ahead.
iterate why it's so bad?
Mhm.
So the episode before, Jin Mori and what's her name? Mira?
Yumira, that's her name.
They spent 12 episodes, I think, of episode 2, looking for her sword. Essentially, it's in a it got thrown off like a bridge, and it's in a river. It's them connecting while they're like searching for her sword in this river, and it shows you how important this is to her, because it's like a resemblance of her father who died and who taught her everything about the moonlight sword style or whatever it's called.
Yeah, her dojo, her
Yes.
style, her everything that is her family's pride and whatever going forward. Like it is her history, their
Yes,
legacy.
this resembles like who she is as like a martial artist. I'll put it that way. Like this is a physical symbol of her martial arts. The next episode, the dude she's marrying steals it, drives away, and she's like, "Yeah, it's honestly not that important to me." I'm like,
Yeah, whatever.
Wait,
Moving on.
we literally spent half an episode searching for it because it is a resemblance of so many things important to you, and this dude just steals it. And you're like, you know what? It's not about the sword. It's about like who
It's
I am.
about the friends.
I'm like,
it's
bitch,
about my friends.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
no.
You could do that if you do that. Episode 2 to episode 3, no. Maybe episode 2 and then episode 300 where you learn more about yourself. Not in the span of 15 minutes of airtime. Fuck that shit. That is garbage writing. I hated it so much. That is a 1 out of 10 episode. 1 out of 10 episode.
Yeah.
So bad. Oh my god.
All right, sorry, Pat. I had to say something about that.
No, you did. That's fair. Again, that just goes along with the rest of the early episodes. We're not that good, and I don't know. I wanted more martial arts stuff going on. Like again, when the fights were going on, the animation was good. There was nothing wrong with the animation. It was just more the fight would last like 30 seconds and then it would be over and then you'd be like, "Oh, well that happened." And then move on. There were some cool characters introduced that, only had like 2 minutes of screen time that were like, oh, the guy who's too disinterested, so he's reading whatever, or he's like, oh, there's the guy that did like special like backflip jujitsu. I don't know, again, like this is just random shit that like that was like, oh, it was cool, but they were only there for 2 minutes. I guess for me, when the show actually got interesting was when it actually pissed off most of the source readers by essentially skipping a bunch of like volumes or chapters, and that's right along near the end when they are fighting the cult. Which again, I know I've said I didn't like the cult, and I still don't like all the religious stuff. But the fight with Jin and with God, what's his name? Where'd he go? Park Pyo. Like with them fighting the shark guy. I don't know what else to call
Shark Boy,
him.
yeah, Shark Boy and Lava
Shark-
Girl.
Shark Boy.
Thank you, Cat. Got that joke.
I did too. It just took a minute because I'm trying not to pay attention to it. Yeah, but Shark Boy, he that fight was really sick, and like I really liked all the fantastical aspects of it. Again, coming in, I didn't expect it, and it pissed me off at first because I was expecting it to be more realistic martial arts than like fantasy martial arts. But then after a while, it grew on me because I was just like, all right, well, now that this is what I expect from the show, this is pretty fucking badass, and like the fights are awesome. And I thought it got stronger as the show went on. And this is where people from the source though are so pissed off because they're like, the ending sucked. The last few episodes were terrible. They skipped things, and I was like, I don't know. I remember talking to Pete about it on our own. Like, that was the part of the show we liked
The
the
second
most.
half was so much better.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think the final 3 episodes were so much better than the
Agreed.
rest of the show, and I was like actually hyped, like waiting for them to come out. I don't know. Again, it's weird. The commissioners were all cool. I really enjoyed them, because they're all like OP and they know it. I enjoyed that aspect of it, but again, I liked Yumira too. I think she was a good character. Her sword turning into something was really cool. I didn't expect that actually. That was pretty cool. Again, that part I liked. Source readers didn't. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Kat, what have you
So
got?
So here's the thing. I'm also a source reader, but I kind of dropped the source after the show kind of started introducing the gods and things. Like after when the cult started getting into the webtoon, and my thing is like I really really love it when a show starts getting really technical with their martial arts. Like when it was the beginning of the webtoon, I fucking loved it. I was a sucker for it. It got me into Muay Thai and a lot more and a little bit of Kung Fu. But the thing is, when I actually got to the superpowers part, I was a little bit like, I'm not real into it, and it kind of made me like put it on hold. This show, like the actual adaptation of it, I as an adaptation from the webtoon, I agree with the source readers. It's kind of shit as an adaptation, but as a standalone show, it's kind of like the Death Note movie. If you can separate the two mediums, it's a pretty decent movie. But if you can't, it's shit. I was able to separate the two because the first like you guys said before, it skipped a bunch of shit. Like it was kind of because it skipped so many things in the first part of it. But in the second part, bro, I was hyped. I really fucking loved it. Like I was a little bit jarred. I was a little bit shook, like how they did the time skip. But man, when I actually got into it, I got into it. And to be honest, like I I would not be opposed to like seeing another season of it, maybe, possibly,
I
but
agree. Yeah.
it needs to get the pacing down. That's the thing. Like you can't just do all this shit and then like drop the ball with all the characters because the characters are part of the story in it, and it's only got like three main like it only kind of developed ish the three main characters in the first half, but like the second half was I fucking love the second half. That's pretty much all I gotta say.
No, absolutely. The second half was so much better, which is crazy because I really wish that the show was like the beginning where it was like over the top martial arts, like the shonen style of martial arts, not like them literally turning into gods. I wish it was just
Right.
like really like I think you see in like the first episode where um Han like punches the dude off the bike and it's just like this big like boom like I wish it was
Mhm.
like that style of martial arts, not them
Yes.
literally turning into like Lu Bu and Wukong and like
Yeah.
fighting like God versus God. I thought that would have been so much cooler because it emphasizes the technicality of the martial art. Because when they turn into gods, it seems like the martial arts are still there, but it's more of like the special move set. I guess it's like the twin dragon kick or whatever. It's not like this. It's
Blue
not,
eyes, white dragon,
yeah,
go!
it's not.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like a roundhouse kick. It's not like a haymaker. It's not like
No,
I guess when she's like using the sword, it's not like I don't
a
know,
suplex.
a jab or something. Oh yeah, the wrestling chick like a suplex. Like
The suplex.
there's
That was
so
cool.
many cool technicalities you can do with these martial arts. I just wish it was something like that, and you could still get like the shonen style of like magic. I just did like how they legit turned into gods type of thing, and I know it's called God of High School. I know, like I know I'm being a little silly or whatever, but like I feel like the concept was better than the finished product type of thing.
I agree with
Uh,
that.
I will say this. I am still holding out hope that maybe we get an over the top like martial arts thing with if they continue to adapt like popular webtoons. I'm still holding out hope that there's an adaptation for the Girls of Wild High. Jesus Christ, I love that because it's so technical with its martial arts. But that's not even there. Back to you, Pete.
No, it's because I like wrestling. I want like a shonen style professional wrestling. I think it'd be so silly if you see someone get stone cold stunned and they like launch their body up through the ceiling or something like that. Give me something like that. That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
That's what I wish like the
Yeah.
style was in God of High School. Like it's cool that they like crash into walls and their body doesn't just explode. But when you turn into a fictional, actually, a real like Chinese
mythological.
warlord, or no, that I think Lu Bu is a real person. That's who.
Well, yeah, but like his story is still mythological, though. You know,
Sure.
like his,
Yeah.
like,
But maybe the resemblance of a real person, something like that. But that's
Right.
just me. I know it's just on paper. This show sounds so cool. It's not cool. It's not bad per se, except for the wedding episode. But it's just I had expectations, especially because I loved Tower of God. I don't care what the haters say. I love Tower of God, and I was really hoping that God of High School could follow at least a little bit in a footstep. And I thought I dropped the ball pretty hard. But I know MABA can only do so much because they're making like 37 shows this year. And I don't know if they had like their C team on God of High School, but I don't know. I feel like MABA kind of dropped the ball because I know that Crunchyroll has like a big part of it and they have to storyboard, but I felt like that they could have done so much more with this show. And they got rid of the parts that I wish they kept, and they kept the parts I wish they got rid of in some aspects. I think the wedding scene episode legit could just be completely skipped. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's like their bonding episode where like they come together as a team. I felt like that they could just done where they're all eating food on the rooftop type of thing for Jin Mori's birthday, and that would have been perfectly fine.
yeah. Again, this show was it just you
You
know.
know, just do our final thoughts then.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Sure, yeah, I can
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
first.
you go first.
6 out of 10. The show is okay. I'll watch the second season of it, I guess, because for one, it's really, a lot of people are talking about it. And again, I liked Jin Mori. I like the three. The trio is a really fun trio. They are good leads. At least they can be. I don't know if they were explored as well as they could have been, but I really did enjoy them, and I don't know. The show did get better as it went on, so I'm willing to give it another season shot, but I don't think it will get one. I really don't see
I
how
don't
it
think
gets
it will
adapted.
either.
I think with the way that it is so volatilely pissing off the source readers more so than the casuals who actually enjoyed it, I think that that's a really bad sign for its future. So I don't think it's gonna get any better. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Cat,
Your
why don't you
final
go next?
thoughts.
So for me, honestly, I'm probably gonna give it a 6 out of 10 also, but I'm actually holding out hope for a second season, mainly because although the source readers are really like mad at it, the source readers aren't the only viewers because they've also got people who don't read source,
Yep.
and because of that, I feel like there is a lot of demand for something that it feels a little bit different. And these shows that are being adapted from manhwa and webtoon are actually being considered as actual shows. And although I don't think they're going to be at the caliber of a lot of like Japanese shonen, like a lot of like traditional stuff like Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, so on and so forth. I feel like this show is going to be. I feel like some of these shows are going to hit with a lot more people, and as Crunchyroll starts understanding how these storyboards should work and how to kind of tone it back with their pacing and finally getting their pacing down with each episode, like with each show, they'll be able to create better shows. And if they keep at it, it could be like webtoon and manhwa in general could actually become a mainstay of anime. And I'm holding out hope. That may just be me like that may just be me like wishful thinking, but I really hope that that's what happens.
We'll see when, I mean, more than likely when Solo Leveling gets adapted, if that is going to be the staple for manhwa adaptations, even though I felt like Tower of God did a great job, but that's just me.
Oh yeah.
But back to God of High School, pretty much what everyone else said. I do want to say, like, I thought the animations and the fight scenes were pretty good. There's a couple where, towards the end where they were really good. I think Mappa did a great job at the animation. It was just the story. It was the pacing. It was the wedding episode. It was just a combination of like that. I thought the second half was much better than the first half. If it got a second season, I think it would greatly benefit. I think everybody, source readers and just anime onlys, I think it would be a great adaptation to get a second season and really try to show what the story is, because this is kind of like a prologue to where it goes. And I think it just needed more content for people to stick around. And unfortunately, we're only watching the first 13 episodes, and the first 13 episodes were pretty mid. So I'm same with everybody else. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. So that wraps up our review. I did forget, I did drop a few shows. I dropped Peter Grill. That's NTR, the anime. It sucked ass. It was not funny at all. I dropped Food Wars Season 5. I wanted to hate watch it since I watched the first 4 seasons. Season 5 of Food Wars is atrocious. Holy shit. Evil Chefs, that's your like where you're going with the show? No, thank you. And then I dropped Aru no Sora, the basketball anime. They don't know how to play basketball. The person who wrote the basketball anime has never played basketball. You can tell immediately. Dropped Aru no Sora. So, that wraps up everything. Next episode of What Do You Say Anime will be our watch club for Baccano. Also, stay tuned for a special bonus episode because I finished Berserk and it's the greatest thing of all time. So we're going to have a special, our first ever manga episode, and we will be highlighting Berserk, and details are still, I don't know, in the works, but me, Haz, and Tyler will be talking about Berserk probably. And if you haven't read Berserk, read Berserk because it's peak fiction. Oh my God, it's the best thing of all time. Read Berserk. Oh, come over to my house. I'll lend you all my manga copies, please. Please read Berserk. Yeah, other than that, we have a Discord. I said below, or earlier in the show. It's listed below. Join it. Come talk anime with us. We're cool dudes, I hope. Come talk about how Dak Prescott blew out his ankle today or something like that as well. So we do a whole bunch of stuff, but it's great.
Yeah, we like sports here. We all
like sports,
like
and we don't care who knows.
I also want to point out that you also missed an anime from last season, Gambiate or whatever it was.
No, I didn't miss it because I didn't watch it because it's literally the lowest rated 12 episodic, like full length anime of all time, passing conception.
That's
holy
crazy.
shit!
It has a 4.01 on Mal last time I checked. So no, I didn't miss it. It's trash. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. So, yeah, tune in a week to watch Baccano with us. It'll be really fun. You can join along with us in our conversation in the Discord. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.